every one of you. And yeah, you're looking forward to an even better 2024. Let's see what the new year will bring for all of us. Mir geht's auch sehr gut. I'm doing very, very well at the moment. So thanks for asking though. Much appreciated. Yeah. That being said though, for me personally, it definitely was an interesting year, to say the least. In both ways, both positively and negatively, but many, many positive things weighing more, basically, or, let me rephrase this. There are many more positive things than negative things, and sometimes you can neither predict them nor really, change them or influence them. And, yeah. It was a pretty interesting year for me. Many ways. Some of the things that happened you may have heard about, or you may have, noticed in live streams, for instance. One of the things that was one of my favorite things this year was this little guy right here. That's a picture of Hugo, my late beloved cat, who lived with me for, let me see, almost 5 months, from early April to late August. And yeah, we had a great time together overall, even though the ending was a little bit sad because I had to put him down because of a virus infection, effectively, and one that you couldn't really do anything about anymore. So that was probably the saddest moment this year for me personally. But now, in hindsight, with a little bit of distance from that time frame, I still think about the good times we had. Yeah. Apart from that, most other things were really, really positive this year. Many cool experiences with family and friends. I got to see quite a few bands this year, most of which I hadn't seen. Well, half of them actually, I hadn't seen before. And as you may know, I'm a big fan of music, so that really means a lot to me. Being able to go to concerts and experience live music, musicians, artists, bands, and being a part of that, in terms of being in the crowd. That was cool. Together with my dad. Sort of like a dad and son thing that we do every now and then, attending concerts. Yeah. Mr. Spock 89. 89. Mr. Spock 89. Guten Morgen, Dave. Alles fit im Schritt, bitte auf Deutsch. Ja. Mir geht's sehr, sehr gut. Ich hoffe, dir auch. Ich hatte schöne Feiertage jetzt. Weihnachten ist jetzt ja erst seit ein paar Tagen vorbei. Und wir haben eigentlich wie die letzten Jahre auch immer familiär sehr ruhig gefeiert. Also wir machen das seit einigen Jahren so, dass wir das ganz gechillt, ganz ruhig angehen. Wir schenken uns auch nichts wirklich mehr. Also wir haben uns vor ein paar Jahren darauf geeinigt, dass wir uns nichts mehr schenken. Gegenseitig. Und deswegen war das für mich, wie auch die letzten Jahre, schon sehr entspannt. Vor Weihnachten. Ich habe da keinen Stress mit irgendwie, ich muss noch Geschenke kaufen und nichts dagegen, ne? Absolut nichts, aber ja, das sind so Momente, wo ich mir dann denke, da bin ich ganz froh, dass ich das nicht mehr mache. Weil ich mir einfach den Stress spare. Und wir hatten eine sehr, sehr schöne Zeit, ja, als Familie. Schön zusammengesessen. Leider konnten meine Großeltern dieses Jahr nicht dabei sein, weil sie Corona hatten. Und ja, das war ein bisschen schade natürlich, war traurig, aber an sich trotzdem wieder eine schöne Zeit, familiäre Zeit gewesen. Ja. Und du fragst, wo meine Kappe ist. Meine Kappe ist da. Da. Ich hatte nur gerade keine Lust, sie aufzusetzen. Beziehungsweise, das Ding ist auch, ich muss sie eigentlich mal sauber machen. I just said that, switching over to English again. I basically answered, or I replied to Mr. Spock89 because he asked how I'm doing in German, and he always wants me to say that in German, of course, which I really enjoy every single time. So, it's become a ritual, sort of. And he also asked me where my cap is. And my cap is there, behind me, my Foo Fighters cap. And I still wear it occasionally, but the thing is that it's quite dirty, like a little bit, and I need to find a way to clean it without destroying it, if that makes sense. I don't know how to do that properly. I have to look that up, I guess. Adam, hi! Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Adam asks, bist du gläubig? Are you religious? Do you believe? No, not really. But I have the utmost respect for, people of faith, believers, no matter the religion, as long as, it doesn't hurt people, or, as long as the religion doesn't become an ideology, like in a very fundamentalistic way. But, actually, it's now that I think about it, it's interesting that you asked, because it was this year in late January, I think, that I departed from the Roman Catholic Church officially. I mean, I was a member of the Roman Catholic Church, but just on paper, basically. So I never really believed that deeply, personally. Never been an overly religious person. And I thought, it would be consequential to depart from the church, officially as well. And that is what I did in late January. But once again, nothing against people that believe in things. If it gives them strength, for instance, or if it motivates them to go forward in life, if it helps them to get through difficult situations, more power to you. Definitely. Definitely. So, yeah. I got Herzleid and Mutter albums for Christmas, and now I have all Rammstein studio albums. That's awesome. That is cool. Yeah, I also have a lot of CDs still from the old days. And a few LPs, like a few vinyl records. Even though, up until a few years ago, I would have listened to them actively. But gotta be honest, nowadays I'm mainly using streaming services for music. So that's the way it is. Because when I'm out and about, when I'm going by train or by bus to friends, I'm either listening to podcasts online or I'm listening to music via streaming services. It's convenient, convenience. And that is something that I deeply believe in. And that doesn't mean that I think it's a positive thing all the time, but in my experience, convenience wins over quality experience. Which means people will way more likely use streaming services with a lower, audio resolution in terms of the file and the audio quality of music, as opposed to listening to a hi-fi wave, rendered CD, like an album, physical medium. But, just wondering, because you said you didn't have presents this year. Yes, very, well, how should I put it? Yeah, well noticed, let me say it this way. That was something that I just said in the little German segment that I just had for Mr. Spock 89. I basically said that, since quite a few years now, like me and my family, me and my parents, me and my brother, we don't really gift each other. We don't really gift each other things anymore. Mutually, that is. We just decided to not do that anymore. Not because we don't appreciate each other, quite the opposite. We love each other. You know, we're a family, a close family actually. But you know, at the end of the day, when someone wants to have something, it's way more likely that they will get that throughout the year themselves. And you can still have a great time, you know, in a congregation, in like a family Christmas congregation type of thing, where you just, you know, meet and sit together, eat something together, have a great time, maybe play games together, whatnot, you know, talking. And yeah. But truth be told though, because of course, you know, most Germans, I guess, are used to having that typical thing where you get Christmas, you get presents on Christmas, of course, right? It's a tradition. And it's no different in Germany for most people, I guess. With a Christian background at least. And so it took me a while to get used to that, but then I only saw the many advantages, like I said, because you save time, you prevent a stressful pre-Christmas time from happening in the first place, because I still need to get the presents and everything, you know, and I don't have the gifts, and you know, time is running out. Tomorrow is Christmas, you know, it's yeah, and I don't have that anymore. So, and I'm not missing that part of it. Let me tell you. But yeah. Wolfie asks, is your region more Protestant traditionally or Catholic? Hello from Canada. Cheers to Canada from Germany. Good question. I think my region is more dominated by Roman Catholics. In general, you know, there are many domains. Is it a religious domain? That's what it's called in English. Like different types of religion, domains. I don't know. Dominion, maybe? Like Roman Catholic, Protestant, that kind of thing. In Germany, I think most people, when they are member of a church, they may be either Protestant or Roman Catholic. Those are the two big major Christian groups, if you will. And my region may be more dominated by Roman Catholics, but you know, also quite a few denominations. Thanks. That was the term. Dominion? Domain? That's the term that I was looking for. Thank you very much, Wolfie. Yeah, so I guess Roman Catholics for the most part, but also quite a few Protestants, and also throughout the family. You know, my aunt, for instance, she is a Protestant, and yeah. But my whole family tree, like my direct family, my direct ancestry, is largely Roman Catholic. Yeah, but most of them not really like strong believers, but they are just members of the church by birth. So same for me, but yeah, now I'm not a member of the church anymore. Merdat Zamimifar, I hope I didn't butcher your name. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. And you may be an old viewer, because I think you wanted to say hello Vlog Dave. Maybe? I don't know. That was my previous channel name before I changed it to Definitely in September of 2022. And thanks for the hearts. That's much appreciated, of course. Thanks for all the support in general, guys. I just recorded a little end of year video before the stream, and there I also said, you know, that I'm each year and with each passing month, and I remain eternally grateful for everything this channel has offered me in my my journey on YouTube has offered me in terms of, you know, getting to know new people, new friends that I otherwise wouldn't have had the chance of meeting in the first place or knowing about. People from different parts of the world, from the USA, from Canada, Japan, you know, it's crazy in a good way. I love it. So, with that being said, I just poured myself a little glass of mead honey wine. And with that being said, I guess, cheers to you guys. And thanks for all the support throughout 2023 and the previous years, in case you're a long-time viewer. And I know you from there 4 years ago. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around, and thanks for still watching my videos and being here in the stream. I really, really, really appreciate that. Merdat, thank you very much. Prost. By the way, I hope the music isn't too loud. In case it is, feel free to tell me. Then I can adjust the volume. Yeah, I'm still really, really grateful for everything. And for you guys being here. And, you know, I don't take that for granted. I never have and I never will. It's as easy as that. And without your, you know, your comments, your chat messages, and liking, subscribing, sharing, you know, doing the YouTube stuff, but also, you know, supporting the channel in various ways on Patreon, for instance, patreon.com/definitely, or Ko-fi, or Super Chat, or, you know, all those things. It just means a lot to me. It really does. It really, really does. So, that's awesome, Merdat. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Ich lerne ein bisschen Deutsch mit deinen Videos. That would be. I'm gonna write it down for you in the chat. I hope you don't mind. Ich lerne ein bisschen Deutsch mit deinen Videos. Let's catch up with you guys. This year I translated 3 Rammstein songs into Finnish. Oh yeah. Suomi. The songs are Weidmanns Heil, Du hast and Bestrafe mich. Oh, okay, that's an interesting mixture of old and new. Yeah. All cool songs. Definitely. Weidmanns Heil, maybe one of my favorites on Liebe ist für alle da, I think. In hindsight, yeah. It's a cool song. I really like the album overall, to be honest, because it's, especially in the drum department, I feel like it's the most double bass heavy album by the band to date, which is awesome. So, yeah. I do appreciate that. I'm sorry I have forgotten from which part of Germany you come from. Could you remind me? Yeah, no worries. I come from the state of North Rhine-Westphalia, which is the most western state, and it's also the largest state in terms of population. It's like over 18 million people living here, and I come from the Sauerland region, which is a beautiful region with lots of nature, forests. You know, where I live, for instance, no matter where I look, you know, from, you know, out of the window, I always see forests surrounding the city, surrounding the area, which I really love. So it's a very nice hiking trails here, you know, and very cool for taking walks and stuff like that, you know, being in nature. So yeah. I love my region. And many people, in fact, many people, Dutch people, for instance, or Belgic people, or French people, and even, people from the UK, for instance, like neighboring countries to Germany, if you will, they often come here for, on vacation. It's a popular region for that. Also during winter time, by the way, because we have a city or like an area called Winterberg, Winter Mountain, literally, which is very popular in all of Germany and well known for winter sports. Yeah, so that's cool. Have you heard Zunge and Sportfrei? We need a translation. I couldn't catch everything. Adam, no, I haven't yet. I haven't really listened to the new album yet. I may do that in the future, but I don't know when, because honestly speaking, and I already said that in the previous live stream, Leo Hunter, hi! Thanks for joining the channel, subscribing. I'm a little bit behind with music albums this year. There are a few things that I'm missing. So, yeah. By the way, I think there's a little ad incoming, so I'm gonna wait a moment here. All right. Anyway. Yeah. I haven't really listened to any of the new songs by Till or his new album, and but it's still on my list, and I may do that in the future. I don't know when exactly. So we'll see. There is a long list of albums that I want to listen to in general, so there's a lot to catch up on. That being said, though, it was a great year musically, and I really, 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 have a lot of new things that I found. Just recently, I really got into Sleep Token. I know I'm late to the party, but I knew about them I had known about them for many, many months, of course, a few years, in fact, in terms of the name, but I didn't really get around to listen to them yet. But I listened to their third album, the recent album that they put out this year, Take Me Back to Eden, which is pretty cool. It's a really unique mixture that they play. It's quite progressive in a way, like a crossover style between like pop and hip hop and electronica, metal, gent, jazzy influences here and there, blues. It's a really wild mixture, but I like it. I do. So I really need to get deeper into their discography, but there's a long list. I mean, I can show you if you want to. Let me see real quick. There it is. Yeah, there's a lot to listen. So this is my list. Just blah 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 blah. That's only a few, like the ones that I could think of, and these are the ones that I still want to listen to. So that's there you go. That's a long list. Voyager, Silent Skies, The Glorious Sons, Avenged Sevenfold. Haven't listened to their new album. Post Malone. By the way, Bradley Bechtel. Hi, thanks for tuning in, Bradley. Hope you had a great year, and hope you had a great holiday season. So I was just talking about music, my favorite music in 2023. So one of my favorite songs this year, and that may surprise some of you, but it's actually Chemical by Post Malone. I have a soft spot for Post Malone, to be honest. I like his melodies and his sense for melodies, and I really enjoy his more recent stuff as well, because it's more acoustic driven, it's more organic. And so is Chemical. You know, it's a damn catchy tune. Love it. Really love it. By the way, talking about that, if you want to find out what my favorite albums or songs of 2023 are, I've compiled a Spotify playlist. Gonna post the link here into the chat. There it is. Yeah. 296 songs. But I can mention a few albums, for instance, that I really enjoyed this year. There's a new album by the Polish progressive rock, progressive metal band Riverside, which I really dig because it also has sort of like synth pop 80s influences all over, which are really, really cool. I really enjoyed the new old Linkin Park song Lost, because, you know, Meteora, the album that they put out 20 years ago, their second album in 2003, that was my gateway album to heavier music. And yeah, I got myself the deluxe edition box set for that reason. And it's a great album to this day. There was this Ghost EP, Phantomime, which I really enjoy, with cover versions of songs by Genesis, you know, Jesus He Knows Me, for instance, or the late Tina Turner, rest in peace, of course. We Don't Need Another Hero. Yeah. If you enjoy German music and you want to have a suggestion for awesome German music that was released this year, I would suggest the album Himmelfahrt by Subway to Sally, which is essentially, they have a really unique style. It's a blend between folk, medieval music mixed with rock and metal. Really, really cool. If you enjoy that, this is the link to the album. I also did an album listening party. So if you want to check that out, you can find that on my channel. Just type, you know, Subway to Sally, 3 words. Then you should find it. That's a great album. Let's see. New Metallica album, of course, 72 Seasons. That's it's a cool album. Haven't really listened to it all too much yet, so I really have to get deeper into it, but I like it a lot. Definitely do. Same with Depeche Mode, Memento Mori, which it's a sad album, of course, because it's a tribute to Andy Fletcher, their late keyboarder, very important band member, of course, and highly influential. And yeah, he passed away sadly, and this is basically, I guess it's partially about him. I mean, the album's title is Memento Mori, which means it's Latin for remember that you will die, remember that you are mortal, you know. That being said, though, great album. Wagging Tongue, for instance, Ghosts Again, awesome songs. And I saw them live for the first time this year, Depeche Mode. And that was a great show. That was a really, really great show. So, yeah. New Oomph album, yeah. Bérangerie. That's also very cool. First one with their new singer, Der Schulz. It's always difficult for bands to continue with a new singer. I mean, it's always difficult with a new band member, of course, but the singer especially, it's a person that is so upfront, so out there, that people associate a band with the singer, with the frontman. That's normal. And so I guess it was quite difficult for all parties involved, including the fans. But I think he he really fits the style. Of course, he has a different timbre, a different tonal quality than Dero, the previous singer of Umf, who I also really like a lot in terms of his singing style. But yeah, it's a great album. Once again, you know, if you like the style, Richter und Henker by Umf, another great German album from this year. Let's see, there it is. Gonna post the link into the chat as well. Spotify link. And I also did an album listening party for that album. So let's see. Carl Herring, hi! Hello Dave, have you listened to any Rockflöte, to the album you mean, Rockflöte by Jethro Tull? Yes, I have. I have the album, in fact, here. And solid late work by Jethro Tull, you know, by Ian Anderson and his comrades. So, yeah, it's solid. It's good. Herbert Grönemeyer, Das ist los was really good for me. Haven't listened to that one yet, but thanks for reminding me. I really need to write that down, because that isn't on my list. Now the list is getting even longer. Thank you. No, honestly, I'm really appreciative of that. Herbert Grönemeyer, one of the Germany's most popular singer-songwriters, if you will. Herbert Grönemeyer, yes. So, that being said, let's continue with my list for the moment, for the time being. I really enjoyed the new Foo Fighters album, but here we are, even though it's a very, very emotional album as well, because most of the songs, I think, have to do with the passing of Dave Grohl's mother, Virginia, in July of 2022, and Taylor Hawkins, the previous drummer of the band, you know, he passed away last year, which was a really, really tough time for me as well, because I'm a big Foo Fighters fan. I love the guys. So it's a really emotionally driven and loaded album. But you know, a song like Rescued, I think, if I remember correctly, is the one song that I listened to the most this year, Rescued by Foo Fighters, which was their new single, the comeback single. But Show Me How, for instance, from that album is gorgeous. The Teacher is a 10-minute masterpiece about his mother, you know, Dave Grohl's mother. So, the soundtrack to the movie Oppenheimer. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but if you haven't, I highly suggest doing so, because it is a great movie. I mean, no wonder, because it's a movie by Christopher Nolan, and he knows his work. You know, with Inception and The Dark Knight and Interstellar and Dunkirk, you know, Tenet, those things. He's one of my favorite directors by far. And the soundtrack to this by Ludwig Göransson is awesome as well. So yeah. New album by Steven Wilson, The Harmony Codex. Steven Wilson, in case you don't know, is a British musician. He is most known as the singer and guitarist and main songwriter for Porcupine Tree, one of my favorite bands of all time. Progressive rock, progressive metal, but this album in specific, it's a mixture of everything. It's very creative. It's has a lot of electronic influences, but not just. A song like Impossible Tightrope, which is also like a 10-minute long song, has so many different styles, from gospel, jazz, rock, fusion. It's really, really cool. Really creative album. The comeback album by Blink-182 is really good. One More Time it is. That's a great album. That's a really, really, really melodic album. I love it. I just love it. Start to finish. And also, maybe one of my favorite albums of the year. And it's his first new album in 21 years. Is Peter Gabriel's I.O. I also saw him live this year for the first time. And it was a phenomenal concert. Also, given that he is in, I think he's in his early 70s, mid 70s. And the rest of the band was top notch, you know. Tony Levin on bass, great bass player, legendary bass player. Manu Katché on drums. You know, basically the same people that he played with on his most well-known solo album, So, which I also love a lot. But this album, I.O. by Peter Gabriel, listen to it. If you enjoy music, and cleverly made music that is, give it a try. Let's see. Alfredo Rodriguez. Alfredo Rodriguez. That is a better way to say it. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to, cheers to Arizona from Germany. Hope you had a great year. Yeah. And I wish you a happy new year for 2024. Thanks for watching my videos, and thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. So, yeah. There was a live album by Porcupine Tree, you know, Closure Continuation Live. Also great sounding record. An album that I just talked about, Take Me Back to Eden by Sleep Token. That's cool. Fauna by Haken, another progressive metal album that I really dig. Yeah, and a few, you know, single songs here and there. Like I said, one of my favorites from this year is Chemical by Post Malone. But I also need to listen to his new album, Austin. Haven't really done that yet. But if it's as catchy as that single, I think I'm gonna like it a whole lot. So yeah, that's the music. In terms of games, that's an easy one, because I haven't really played too many games that came out this year. But there are two games that I want to mention. One of them I'm currently playing, and that is Alan Wake 2. What a freaking awesome piece of art that is. I really love it. I already loved the first one many years ago, but this one, it has even more to offer in every way. And I'm currently doing a German Let's Play of it on my second YouTube channel, my German Let's Play channel, Dave Durden TV. Gonna write that into the chat. Or let me do it this way, maybe. It's a great game. If you're a fan of, you know, psychological thrillers or cleverly made, you know, crime stories, Stephen King, that kind of stuff, and you're into video games, Alan Wake 2, as best as it can get, in my book. Very creative, very dense atmosphere, very tight, very cool. Just overall, very cool. Also currently streaming that, by the way. I'm recording my Let's Plays live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/DaveDurdenTV if you want to tune in for, you know, a German listening practice with video games, for instance. You can witness me streaming and recording my Let's Plays over there. Merdat hast du vor ein paar Minuten die Himmelfahrt-Songs vorgeschlagen? Yes, I have. I already talked about Himmelfahrt by Subway to Sally a few minutes ago. Yes. It's a great album overall, like from start to finish. Especially like the first few songs on the album are probably my favorites. Really cool. Auf dem Hügel is one of my favorites on that one. Yeah. Great album. And the other game that I want to talk about that I have watched as a Let's Play is the Resident Evil 4 remake, which is also really cool. I really dig all the new Resident Evil games, like 7 and 8, and the remakes of the old ones. Just well done overall. So thanks Capcom for that. It's not a game that I will play myself, I don't think, because, I'm a little bit on the anxious side when it comes to horror games, playing them myself, but I like watching them as Let's Plays. That's awesome, Merdat. So probably not gonna play it myself, but I like it. It's a really cool game. I already knew the original, so I already knew what to expect, but it's an awesome remake. Yeah. I acquired the original Xbox for Christmas and I've been playing Knights of the Old Republic. Wow, okay. Really nostalgic and enjoyable. Did you have one back in the day? I never had an Xbox, no. I was always a PlayStation kid, teen, person. Nothing against Xbox though. Like, I'm not taking part in that console war whatsoever. I just never had an Xbox. That's the thing. I always had PlayStations though. Don't have PlayStation 5 yet, maybe at some point, but yeah. Have a PlayStation 4, for instance. Did you watch the Game Awards? Yes, I did, Adam. Wasn't that great? That was awesome, I think. Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake being the two big winners of the evening. And, I haven't really seen anything from Baldur's Gate 3 yet. But from what I've heard, and a few snippets that I've seen, that's pretty awesome. So I do get why they won so many awards, but I was also really happy for the Alan Wake 2 team, Remedy and Sam Lake. And also, like, best part of the evening for me was the performance of the Old Gods of Asgard together with Alan Wake and Sam Lake. That was awesome. I wasn't, I know that takes part in the game as well, that the song is played in the game. I'm not there yet, but I have heard cool things about it. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. PS5 Pro coming end of 2024. Wait for that. I know I will. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. Yeah. But I hope that it's gonna be easier to get one then, compared to how hard it was to get a PS5 in the early months or years even. I don't know. Oh, it's raining heavily. Interesting. Anyway, KB's Travel in Life. Thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year, of course. Hope you had a great 2023, and I really appreciate you watching my channel. That's awesome. I loved my PS2 when I was a kid, same here, yeah. Even though the main console that I grew up with was the PS1. I'm an old guy, But PS1 times, Spyro. Medieval, Sir Daniel Fortescue, Crash Bandicoot. Those types of games, yeah, love them. Love them. Big fan of that. But I also really enjoy, in terms of Spyro, for instance, I really enjoy the Reignited trilogy. And that was also one thing, talking about, or coming back to the Game Awards. There was something that I kept hoping for, that they would announce a new Spyro game. Whether it's a remake of the original 4th game, Enter the Dragonfly, or a new Spyro 4 game, I wouldn't mind either of them, but so far, nah, nothing on the horizon. I hope that they will make a new Spyro game in the style of the Reignited trilogy. I mean, I'm happy for all the Crash Bandicoot fans, don't get me wrong, guys. For, you know, Crash Rumble, Stumble thingy stuff, and Crash 4 and everything. That's cool and everything, but please, new Spyro game, please. If any developer sees that, you know, from I don't know, Toys for Bob, for instance, the one that the team that made the Reignited trilogy, which it was awesome. Please make another Spyro game, please, please. Yeah. I was wondering how Rammstein made smooth transition to Moscow at the end of the song America. Try to remember this transition. Is that a smooth transition? I don't know, actually. I don't remember. Maybe. I know that there is a strong transition from, like a smooth transition, that is, from Dalai Lama to Keine Lust, I think. That's a pretty smooth transition. I remember that, but yeah. Scalpers. Yeah. Did Valheim win any awards? I don't think so. Could be wrong. I'm not sure. But I don't think so, no. Those Tomb Raider games 1, 2, 3 are being remastered and coming soon. Yes! I'm really curious about that as well. But then again, I'm also a little bit sad that they didn't remake the other 2 originals, like the core design original PlayStation 1 games, being 4 and 5. And especially 4, because I have a very soft spot for Tomb Raider 4: The Last Revelation. That was my first Tomb Raider experience, even though I love them all, you know. So I'm happy that they get a remaster, and maybe new generations of players will get to know Tomb Raider. Like the original, the old ones as well. So, yeah. And of course I'm really looking forward, even though it will take another year. Like, it will only come out in 2025, the earliest. I'm pretty sure that they will delay it at some point, because it's such a massive project. But GTA 6. I'm really, really happy that they will return to Vice City, because GTA Vice City is basically my favorite GTA. Also for nostalgic reasons, but you know, the soundtrack to that game is amazing. Laura Branigan, Self-Control, love it. You know, and that kind of stuff. I have a sweet spot for 80s pop. And it's just a great game overall. So I'm really looking forward to that, even though it will take a long time to come out, you know. Yeah. Maybe in terms of series, I just finished watching the last season of The Crown, which is a really well-produced series. Really highly recommended if you're interested in history. You don't have to be a fan of the British royals to enjoy the show, because I'm not a big royalist, like a big fan of royals in general, but I'm just curious about people in general, from all walks of life, you know. And yeah, I mean, this last season 6 of The Crown was pretty sad, even though I knew what was gonna happen, you know, with Lady Diana, rest in peace. Yeah. Still a great series. And I hope that at some point they will still make another season 7 in a couple of years' time, maybe. And M. Viral, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Welcome. So yeah, I hope that they will continue that in a few years' time. Maybe with like Harry and, you know, William and that kind of stuff, and the Queen and King Charles, and, you know, there's a lot of stuff that can still be talked about, I guess, so we'll see. But maybe it's still too fresh at the moment. I don't know. So, but apart from that, maybe I haven't really watched too many series in a classical sense, but I enjoy watching documentaries every now and then. Today I just finished Bad Surgeon, which is a documentary about a surgeon who put plastic windpipes into people, and, you know, a really weird story. Like, I really enjoy some high quality true crime documentaries, for instance. Yeah, every now and then as well. The Last of Us, I haven't seen that one yet. And I haven't seen The Witcher either. Even though, you know, it's a bit difficult with The Witcher because of, you know, Henry Cavill not being there again. So it really dampens my urge to watch the series, like the latest season, even though I know that he's still in it, but don't know if you can relate to that. It's sad. Nothing against the new actor, of course. More power to him, and I think he will do a great job. But it's always hard when like the protagonist of a show, of a series changes, right? That's always tricky. So I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah. Favorite movie? I haven't really watched too many movies this year, I don't think. Like, new movies, that is. But I went to see Oppenheimer at the movies, you know, at the cinema with my dad in Essen. Because we went, there was a special occasion. Not just because of the movie, it's 3 hours long, but it's worth every single minute, I think. Also because it's not only done great in a cineastic way, you know, in the producing way, but it also makes you think. It's thought-provoking in a good way, and in an important way, I think, because it really deals with important topics that are still relevant to this day, you know, atomic warfare and that kind of stuff. Oppenheimer being basically the inventor of the atomic bomb, in case you don't know. So it's, yeah. And Cillian Murphy, such a good actor. Wow. I mean, he has a great screen presence, I feel, and I just love seeing him in movies and shows and everything. He's great. So that is basically my favorite movie of the year. I hope it will get some Oscars, like Academy Awards and Emmys and whatnot. I really hope so. And yeah, we went to a special German cinema for that in Essen, the Spielburg, which is arguably Germany's most beautiful cinema, because it's very old school. Like, when you enter it, it looks like an opera house, like an old school opera house. It's really classy in a way. So that was a trip. That was cool. Yeah. I also made a vlog about that, by the way. I think it's called something like Exploring Germany's Most Stunning Cinema. Something like that. So if you want to check that out, feel free to look it up on my channel. A place called Food. Never heard of that one. I think it was a great Christmas season. That's awesome to hear. Wolfie, where does it start? Like Victoria or later? What do you mean, Wolfie? But I think, yeah, that's pretty much about it. What I can tell you about series, movies, music, and games. It's a Lichtburg. It's not Spielburg. It's Lichtburg. That's the name of the cinema. Lichtburg, Essen. The show about the royals. Okay. No, I know what you mean. No, it starts with the I think it's early to mid 30s. That's where it starts. It's basically is it King Edward, like the predecessor to Elizabeth? And she, like her becoming a queen slowly but surely, that's where it starts. So I guess it's like early 30s, maybe late 20s, early 30s. And then it moves onward, you know, up until 2005-ish. I think that's the end of season 6. Yeah. So, and currently it's supposed to be the last season. You know, season 6 is supposed to be the last season. It's out now. Not sponsored, but it's awesome. So, but I really hope that in a few years' time they may make another season. Do it. I think it's really awesome. Like, of course, they had to cast new actors every 2 seasons, I think it is, because of, you know, the age difference and everything. But all of them remarkably well casted in terms of their looks. They resemble their real life, like the real life characters, awesomely. I think is it Claire Foy? Is that her name? The actress of the young Elizabeth. Phenomenal job. What's her name? The last queen, like the oldest one, is Imelda Staunton, who also does a great job. And what's her name? Olivia something, which is the middle-aged queen, so to speak. She also does a great job, and everyone else, you know, the whole cast, I think, is phenomenal. So much respect to them and to the whole team making that happen. You know, all the sets look so awesome and real, and it's crazy. It's a really well-made show. Really well-made. I wonder, was The Ring of Power, was that a show, like a series from this year? I think so, right? And contrary to many hardcore Tolkien fans, I really enjoyed that show, like that series. Gotta say. Because I'm not a hardcore Tolkien fan, and I haven't read the books. I only know the Lord of the Rings movies and The Hobbit and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I love that. And I really enjoyed the series as well. I think to date it's still the most expensive series ever made, with over $1 billion budget, I think. But I really enjoyed it. Gotta be honest, I really enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward to season 2. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, I at the same time I get when Tolkien hardcore fans may not enjoy the show as much, because it may diverge from a few things that Tolkien has written about. I don't know. Can't really talk too much about that because I don't know. But at the same time, I get that. But then again, because I don't have that background information, I watch the show for what it is and what it delivers, you know, without comparing. And from that perspective, production-wise and everything, it's a great show. It's a good show, yeah. May not be a masterpiece or whatever, but it doesn't need to be. Not everything needs to be a masterpiece. It can also be just good. That's also valid. Like, sometimes I feel like, turning into a little rant here, but sometimes I feel like people these days, not all of them, but many, they seem to have that expectation of everything, like every new thing, whether it's music or movies or whatever, everything needs to be, it's just black and white. It either is a complete, like the best movie of all times, a masterpiece of all masterpieces, or it's total, you know, the opposite. But, so it's black and white, but, you know, that's not really fair. There are so many different shades of gray in between. So it can also be solid, and solid is not bad. And it can also be good or very good without being a masterpiece, right? So, but that's just me. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap things up for today and for this year now, because yeah, I hope I didn't forget anything, but basically said everything that I can say about that kind of stuff. I really want to thank you once again for everything, for taking the time to watch my videos, tune into the live streams, and also watching the recordings of the live streams. I know you're there, YouTube people. You know, I really appreciate you guys seeing this right now, hearing this right now. That's awesome. I've been following your channel for a year now. Mirotaya, that is awesome. And you've become a regular. And that is even more impressive. I really, really enjoy you tuning in. That's awesome. So thanks a whole lot, everyone, for your support. I keep saying it, I know. But I will keep saying it because I am thankful. I'm really grateful for it. And it definitely makes a difference. You know, everything. Liking, subscribing, the whole thing, especially sharing my videos, you know, and spreading the word about what I do. Because, you know, want to reach 100k subscribers at some point, hopefully, if that's possible. And I can only do that with your help. So, at the end of the day, you know, and with a little bit of luck, of course, but yeah. Anyway, that's, and I'm also eternally grateful for all the supporters, you know, on Patreon, and there it is, on Patreon, and the channel members, there they are. Thank you very much for everything. That also makes a big difference, definitely does. And everyone who tipped something as super thanks or super chats, or, you know, bought me a coffee on Ko-fi, that is, or on PayPal, and of course, you know, like I said, simply watching the videos, you know, that alone that's everything I can wish for. That's awesome. You know, that is just, yeah, it leaves me speechless every single time and every single year. And with that being said, I hope you had a great 2023. And if there were things that may not have been as great, try to leave them behind and enter 2024 with a positive mind, you know. And just in general, as a last thing, maybe, I'm all about the good vibes. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world without getting into that detail, because this is a non-political and non-religious channel. I'm well aware of all of that, and it's not easy. It's not the easiest of times, definitely not. but at the same time, it doesn't make sense to spread negativity even more on social media, online, wherever. And that being said, I'm really, 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 really grateful that I have such a cool community like you guys who are open-minded, positive thinking, and spreading the good vibes. You know, chatting with me here and, you know, talking to each other in the comment section under videos and that kind of stuff. That's so awesome. And not every content creator, not every YouTuber or who else it is has that. I know that for a fact. So thank you. Thanks for being so cool. That's simply have to say it. It is the way it is. Yeah, thank you. And with that being said, Happy New Year. Guten Rutsch, as we say when the old year is still running. And once the new year has begun, we say Frohes Neues. Happy New Year. So we distinguish between that actually. Old year, Guten Rutsch, which basically means happy slide into the new year. To the new year. Frohes Neues or Frohes Neues Jahr. Happy New Year. So yeah. Oh, Yvonne, hi. Thanks for tuning in. Yvonne Manguide. Happy New Year to you too. Sorry, I almost overlooked you. That, of course, I didn't do that on purpose. I'm sorry. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here, Yvonne, and thanks for watching my videos. It's really cool, and I really appreciate you taking the time tuning in here. Even though it's the end of the stream now, I'm really sorry about that, but I still appreciate that a whole lot. But, you know, I'm gonna be live again next year, I'm sure. Maybe even already in January. We'll see. So, thank you, Dave. We have a great time with your videos and your streams. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And Merdat, to answer your question, I live in North Rhine-Westphalia, which is a state in West Germany. And I live in the Sauerland region, which is a part of the state. And it's really beautiful here. Yeah. So, and with that, thank you once again. And see you in 2024, I think. Happy New Year, and stay healthy, you know, and I wish you all the best for the next year, that your wishes may come true, and that you hopefully will still be interested in my videos next year. Yeah. So, thank you. And yeah, definitely tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye bye. And Bob, thank you very much. Guten Rutsch. To you too. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks. Bye bye.